Okay, so we have a more recent entry for today's album, that being The Stage by Avenged Sevenfold. Now, I have heard most of their catalog, but this one I never really gave a chance until recently. And it's a very interesting album, as this is the first album before Life is But a Dream where Avenged Sevenfold gets experimental with their sound. Even though the first four records are definitely pretty good, by Nightmare and Hail to the King, their sound starts to get a bit old. And sure, I like some songs off both those albums, but the entire records aren't really anything too special, in my opinion. So, it was actually kind of nice to hear something a bit different sounding, but was that executed properly? Well, let's discuss, shall we? Track 1, the stage title track. So, this is one of the only songs I heard before, and I've always liked this track well enough, as it takes a bit of a prog metal approach, which was new at the time for this band, and it's done well for the most part. The riffs, as well as M. Shadows' vocals, are on point, and the lyrical writing is pretty deep for Avenged Sevenfold, which is surprising. And the melodies are catchy, so overall, a pretty good song. Track 2, Paradigm. Okay, so this song is not as good, as the verses are not as catchy, and the drums sound a bit flat. And the only highlights are the chorus and the last 2 minutes, so I would say this song is okay. Track 3, Sunny Disposition. This one definitely is a bit of a step up from track 2, as it has a good melody in the verses and a decent chorus that has trumpets, believe it or not. The riffs are also not half bad, and the solo is pretty good, so another pretty good song. Track 4, Goddamn. Alright, so this track has an interesting acoustic bridge and some good melodies in the chorus. The verses, however, are okay, but aren't anything too special, so a decent song. Track 5, Creating God. Okay, now we have reached a song I really enjoy, because not only was this the other track I first heard off of this record, but I also think it's really underrated. From the groove to the catchiness of the verses and the riffs, while not as complex as, say, track 1, it still is a track that gets the job done pretty well, so this song is pretty good. Track 6, Angels. This track takes a bit of a slower approach, even slower than track 5, and it's not too bad. I like the key, and the solos that play after the chorus are well done. And M. Shadows' voice is pretty good sounding on this one. The guitar tone, while not the heaviest, is still good, and isn't too light either, so another pretty good song. Track 7, Stimulation. So this is definitely another interesting song, cause the verses are slow and have the same key as track 6, but then when it gets to the chorus, it turns really heavy and thrashy, and it sounds pretty damn good. The bridge also has samples in it, and the solo is really good too, so yet another pretty good track. Track 8, Higher. Alright, this song has good riffs and a decent chorus, but the weakest part of this track has gotta be the verses. And more specifically, M. Shadows' voice in the verses. It just sounds a little off key. I don't know if that's just me or not, but regardless, that's what I hear, so this song is okay. Track 9, Roman Sky. Okay, so this track is a bit of a softer ballad, and As a song, it's not too bad, but it's not that heavy. Up until the end, when a guitar solo comes in. And although it's not a song I'll be listening to that much, I will say it's a good song. Track 10, Fermi Paradox. Alright, this song delves back into the prog sound, similar to track 1. And while it's not as good as track 1 in my opinion, it's still good with the riffs, melodies, and vocals, so another good song. Track 11, Exist. Okay, now we have reached the final song on the album, and it comes in at a whopping 15 minutes. No joke. It also dives into the prog sound again as well, and sure, it has a bit more going on than track 1 due to its length. I still prefer track 1 a little more, but that doesn't make this song bad. In fact, it's actually quite good. It's also not a bad track to close the album with, and at least the longest song is at the end, so I'm gonna say it's another good song. Alright, so in conclusion, this is an album that isn't perfect, but it is by no means bad, because there's a lot of really good ideas on here, and some damn good songs, and I don't know why I slept on this one, but I don't regret giving it a chance, and like many albums and things in life, it's always better late than never, so with that being said, my final rating is a 7 out of 10. But that is gonna do it for today, and whatever your thoughts are about this album or video, be sure and leave it in the comments. And as always, I will see you all next time.